Hey, thanks for coming back in. Hope you guys enjoy the show. Welcome back to MBP Fishing. Yes, sir. Welcome back in. Yeah, what can I say about today but wonderful? It's about 90, 92 degrees. It's not too bad. Humidity's up there, though. There's some impending storms coming around. So instead of fighting those rocks down there, I figured, you know, did pretty good down here on these sandy bars. Why don't we come back down here and try today at midday, by the way, instead of evening? Yeah, welcome back to MBP Fishing. Yes, sirree. Welcome back into our channel. Yes, folks, this is our channel. Can you believe it? We've got about 40 night crawlers. I've also got a can of corn. Perfect bait for down here. Got a jig head technique on. I've also got a little Carolina rig with a 1/8 ounce bullet weight on there. Let's get these rods out and I will get into chat. Hope you guys enjoy the show today. Yeah, we're just getting started, folks. Haven't even taken a cast yet. Let's get some corn on this one. I think this one will do better with corn because I'm seeing some small buffalo and grass carp in here in the shallows in here. I think that would be a perfect technique to try for that. And I'm seeing some white bass and stripers down there by that rock face. It's just I really don't want to. If I get into some rain down here, folks, I need to be able to get out of here quick, and it takes me like an extra 5 or 10 minutes to unload down on those rocks down there. Plus, it's that iron down there. There is a potential for some thunderstorms and stuff later on. So I don't want to be around that iron, that big, yeah, a lightning rod per se. Yeah, we dug about 40 night crawlers, so hopefully we'll have enough to get some nice ones on here for you guys. Just getting these rods out. Let me get these guys out here, and I will get into that chat. Yeah, not a whole lot of night crawlers. It's getting later in the season, and I'm trying to space these guys out, only digging like 40 or 50 a day. That way we can get these to last until like mid-October before I have to worry about buying them. And then we'll start getting a different species of worms, which show up when the ground temperature cools off quite a bit. And once that ground temp cools off, we'll get a different species out there and start getting worms again. All right, rods are out. And that is instantly snagged over there with those stupid rocks. Oh boy. I was so worried about that too. That just as soon as that hit the bottom, which means this one's probably going to be doing the same thing. Yep. Unfortunately. Oh, let me think about this a minute here, folks. We gotta get our right angles here. The water's gone up about I guess about a foot, 8, 10 inches, whatever. Hopefully this is a rock. I can get this out of here real quick. I'm not that far from the bank, really. Ah, Lord. Be one of these days, ain't it? Snapped already. Yeah, that thing just, as soon as it hit the bottom, it was immediately snagged. And it's tough to snag those jig heads like that. You literally have to have that hooked into something that won't come off. Where's all my jig heads and everything, folks? Give me just a minute here. Yeah, we're working on it, folks. This is a work in progress. Every time this water raises and drops, we're gonna have to switch things around, unfortunately. And I wanted to move a little bit further down here towards this point, but it looks like that was a bad idea because I seem to be in Snag City, so I might be moving back that direction. Hang on, folks. Let me get another jig head out of here. Assuming I can find one of the little stinkers. And I'm going to have to order some new jig heads soon as well because we're getting low. There's a turtle. Okay. I haven't seen many turtles down here. I do not see any friggin' jig heads in. Dang, there's one. A purple. Not the best color for using corn, but it'll work. I was bite on worm. Aw, you little stinker. Man, that popped it. Dang. Always something down here, right, folks? Gotta hold that somewhere where I don't lose it. And I'm sorry, folks. I know I haven't gotten into the chat yet here. We're working on it here, folks. Obviously, this can't be casted out very far in the spot because I moved down a little bit because I wanted to fish this point a little bit closer in. Only problem is it's got more snags in that location, so it's a better location for getting some bigger fish. But I don't know. Those those snags might be another bite on worm. Come on, give me a minute here to tie this hook on. It's a terrible tag in. Ah, seriously, I got them rocks again. I haven't got it on my other rod. Crap. If this breaks off, I'm gonna have to come in and chat with you guys before I even friggin' yeah, that's not coming off, I'm afraid either. Well, we got something back. I don't know what we got back. So we broke the hook off. No, we didn't break the hook off either. She bent. Okay. I don't know what the heck that was, but bent the hook out. Whatever the heck that was, I don't want to get near that again. And that did not dull the hook either. So that was either wood or someone else's line. Hmm. Tell you what, I have to get into chat, folks. I haven't talked to you guys in yet this feed, so hang on. Let me get in here and say hello. While it's booting up, I can at least get this one back out here with some corn. If I remember the spot correctly, you either cast beyond the stuff and hope you don't get the crap, or cast in front of it. That's assuming they're in here shallower, which the water rising, so there's no reason why they wouldn't. It wouldn't be in here shallower. I don't know. We're gonna find out here, folks. That's like great, but it'll do. I'm gonna get snagged in there close. I might as well go down there further. And I want that even further than that, past that stuff. I didn't quite make it out there far enough. And half my kernels of corn just fell off the hook because that line is, you know how monofilament it does that, folks. When you after you go down here on the river, the stuff sticks to itself. So the first couple of casts, it winds up, sticking to itself. So, all right, we got one rod out, folks. All right, let's see what's going on in chat here. Let's see, where is YouTube? There it is. All right, we're going into chat here. All right, here we are, folks. Let's see, Bonnie's first in. How you doing today, Bonnie? Bonnie says, hello, Mike. Good to see you again today, my friend. Good to see you too, Bonnie. I see Randy. How you doing today, Randy? Randy says, "What did you catch yesterday?" Let's see. I caught. Let's see, two big grass carp, a buffalo, 13 freshwater drum, and two gar. Johnny Lamb, how you doing today, Johnny Lamb? Johnny Lamb says, "What's up?" And PA Outdoors, how you doing today, PAR? PA says, "Cheers all." PA says, "Good luck out there today." Bonnie says, "PA." PA says, "Hi." Let's see. Bonnie says, "That's okay, Mike. Do what you gotta do." Yeah, you know how coming down here the water level changes. That means your snags have changed. Let's see. Randy says, "Right." Let's see. Amby, how you doing today, Amby? Amby says, "Hello." Hello. And Ben, how you doing today, Ben? Ben says, "Hey, where are you fishing? We're down on the mighty muddy Mississippi River today, Ben. We're down by the Arch in St. Louis." Johnny Lamb, yep, the Mississippi River. You got it right. Is this the All Gar channel? Well, not all gar. There's a bite on corn. Yeah, some picked it up. And he's thinking about it. Ooh, you guys know what hits corn down here. Mr. Bait and Tackle. Mr. Bait and Tackle says, "Good luck, MVP. Thank you for dropping by. Hope you enjoy the show today." Bait and Tackle with the fishy emojis. And Terry. How you doing today, Terry? Terry says, "Mr. MB." And Arnold. How you doing today, Arnold? Arnold says, "How is everyone? How are you doing, Mike? Bro, keep it up." We got some impending storms coming a little later on, so I figured those rocks, not a great idea. I don't want to get stuck out on those rocks in a thunderstorm or something. Yep, Mr. Bates says the mighty muddy Mississippi River. You got it. Let's see, and Redmond, stay fishy, says MVP. Let's go. All right, 35 incredible people in and 17 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Tell you what, let's get this worm back out here. We were getting bites on her, but I hadn't talked to you guys in a plug minute, so I had to put that to the side. We might be off the spot, folks. I need to probably move a couple feet to our left. Because there's a rock face right here. I think we're right on top of it. Now, it's a good spot to fish. There's plenty of fish on it. It's just getting the suckers out of the stuff. Yeah, we're going to go in closer, folks. That way we don't get as snagged as badly. And that was a bite on that corn rod. So let me see what he did to it. Well, nothing. And I didn't get snagged out there. So one consolation, got one of the kernels of corn off, though. They're sneaky out there, folks. Those big grassies and commons and stuff out here, they'll pick off a piece of corn and go, "Nope, I'm done. I got something in my belly. I'm happy." And there's bubbles all over right here by the bank. I don't know why I just don't flip this right in here. Because I'm seeing some nice buffalo and stuff right in here, right by the bank. Yeah, that last buffalo, I saw the back of his tail sitting there right by the bank there. I threw a couple handfuls of corn in, so you guys know how they are. They're like cows in the Mississippi River. Dang it, right by the bank. I was pulling on it. Man, I can't believe I missed that fish. Hang on, folks. We're gonna get one in on here momentarily. There's some really active ones down here. I just gotta get them to hit. Get a hook in them at least. I'm getting them to bite. That's a bite on corn. Look at him. Got him, folks. Fish on. Whoa, buddy. Whoa. Whoa. Man, that fish took off on me. Yeah, that's on a little crappie jig, folks. That little our jig head technique. I don't know what I've got. Man, with the way she's running, I think we got a common. I saw them bubbles in there. Boy, she is just dogging me, folks, right now in that current. Well, I hope I tied that hook on good. I was in kind of a hurry. Yeah, I switched this over to 8-pound tests today, folks, because this water's gotten so clear. I figured 10-pound tests, they might be seeing it, so. There's a bite on worm, too. Yeah, I can't keep that one out and this one at the same time, especially when I'm trying to land a big fish. Come on, big girl. I think we got a common. That way that fish is staying deep and taking off those runs, either a common or a buffalo. We'll see here in a minute. Now, that was on corn, folks, so. Man, these guys can fight. Incredible fighting, folks. These guys can really pull it out of you. I still ain't even seen this fish yet. Uh, Common carp. Not that big, actually. But, just a strong, energetic young one. Yeah, it's only about maybe 4 or 5 pounds, man. That was a fighter, folks. This fish is fighting like it's 20 pounds. Boy, that is one incredibly beautiful common carp, folks. Beautiful. That ain't even that big. That's much smaller, and I use that for cut bait. Seriously, if this thing was about a pound, half a pound less, I'd use this sucker for cut bait. Come here, big girl. Come here. Nope, not ready yet. We touched her, though. It counts. Nope, not yet either. Got the sand collapsing in on me here. And I got my line around my other stuff here as well. Come here, big girl. Yeah, this one just, it's hyperactive or something, dude. Man, I landed a 10-pound grass carp yesterday easier than this. This sucker is hyper. Look at her. She don't want to give up. All right, folks, I think we got her. Yeah, we got her, folks. Yeah, that is a beautiful common carp. Not as big as a lot of ones we get down here, but man, that is a healthy girl. Check this guy out, folks. Boy, just a picture perfect common carp. That's about 3 or 4 pounds, so yeah, I'll go about 4 on her. So beautiful common, folks. Yeah, I was on corn. Incredible. First fish of the day. Man, this one had its Wheaties or something, man. That sucker was hyper. Look at that bright orange tail on that girl. Gotta love it, my friends. Gotta love it. First fish of the day. Beautiful common. Look at that bright orange. All right, girl, let's get you back in the water. Yeah. See ya. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Hey, first fish of the day, folks. Can't complain. That was on corn, folks. And that jig head, that little thin jig head held up pretty good. Man, I just saw that line lightly pecking, and I set that hook. You'd be amazed at the bites down here, folks. How gentle they'll hit, and yet how big a fish you can get. Let me get these rods back out, and I'll come back into chat. Okay, folks? Hope you guys are enjoying the show today, and thank you for tuning in. All right, that looks pretty good. We just cast that. If you remember that cast, I flipped it underhanded right by the bank. That's how close those little stinkers are in here. Take a couple handfuls of corn and throw it in here and get these guys coming in right by the bank. And that was it. All right, one rod's back out. Let's get our worm rod back out as well. And how the heck did that? Oh, it's not broke. It's just loose. Never mind. I thought the line broke. Maybe I stepped on her or something. I don't know. I'm like, how the heck you step on 20-pound test and break it? It's a good question, Michael. I didn't, but it would have been a good question. There's another bite on corn. Yeah, these guys aren't timid, folks. With the catch and release techniques that we've been doing down here, I think they've gotten to the idea where they can come in here and get a good meal, and even if they get caught, they get released. So you get these schools of fish in here where the ones that I've caught are still in here, and then they'll attract some more fish in. That's pretty good. Yeah, these fish are in here pretty dang close, folks. So I'm not worried about casting too far out. Let's see, Redmond, how you doing, Redmond? Stay fishing, says Redmond. Let's go. And Joey, how you doing today, Joey? Joey says hi. And Bonnie says go get him. We're definitely working on it. We've already caught one nice common carp. Got both rods out here. We're gonna fish for a while. Let's see, drilling and chilling. Drilling and chilling says bring it. Yeah, that's 8-pound test on that one. I can't horse him. Drilling says let's go. Drilling says good fight. Yeah, that was a good fight. I really enjoyed that one. Gary, how you doing today, Gary? Gary says tight lines, Mike. See 26 incredible people in and 29 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. And see Stan. How you doing today, Stan? Stan says nice. Honey Fizz says, Fizz says I see you. Yeah, it kept going. I see you. I'm not staying here. Let's see. Drone says fun to watch. I try to put on a show. I do. Let's see. Big Uncle. Big Uncle asks, what river is that? We're down on the mighty, muddy Mississippi River down by the Arch in St. Louis. Yep, this is, we're in St. Louis, Missouri. And Flava's number 26. Awesome, my friend. Big Uncle says, okay, cool. Yeah, we got a lot of different species down here we can get. There's a bite on worm. Hang on, folks. Yeah, you never know what you're going to get down here, folks. You really don't. Yesterday it was grass carp and freshwater drum. Today at common carp, other species of fish down here. I think we're off on the angle here, I'm afraid. I think we may have to move the rods, at least this one big rod, up a few feet. Because I think we're just a little bit too far inland. I'm getting bounced around by rocks right here, so I'm going to move this rod just a little bit further up. There's one of my worms trying to escape. Little friggin' Houdinis. And I got some sneaky worms too, folks. They can get out of the bucket so easily. Ah, I could put on a bigger weight, but I just get snagged more. I think that'll do us a little bit better because we had them a little bit too far over here. That's Ian. Chris, how you doing today, Chris? Chris goes, good luck, Mike. A thumbs up from the holiday spot. Awesome, my friend. I was watching your live feed the other day. And thank you so much for dropping by. I hope you enjoy the show today. Lewis says, welcome into MVP Fishing. Please feel free to like and subscribe and leave a comment on a video or a short so as MVP can sub and connect back. Yep, you got it, my friend. That's little stinkers are pecking on it like I wonder what the heck those are. Hang on, folks. Let me get this rod back out and I'll get back into chat. I don't know what those are yet. You never know until you actually hook the little stinkers, what they are. Yeah, we got about an 8 or 10 mile per hour wind out here today too, folks. It's making things a little bit more bearable, but at the same time, it's making seeing these bites a little trickier. Chris says, don't forget to like and subscribe and share the like out, and it will help the channel. You got it, Chris. And thank you so much for that drop. Let's see, Wild. How you doing today, Wild? Wild says, let's go. Leva says, Chris, Wild, Bonnie. Chris says, Dave. All right, looking pretty good for chat, folks. 36 incredible people in and 33 thumbs up. Awesome. I'm going to set that right to the side here just for a minute and focus down on these rods. And what happened to this one? Nothing. Let me put that right back out there. Probably should throw a little bit more bait out here as well. There's a bite on worm. I see him pecking on it. Ah, come on, man. I could feel him pecking on it when I set the hook. I never know what these guys are until I hook them. Now, mind you, we got one common carp over there, but there's no telling what these guys are on worm. With the way they're biting, I'm going to guess a freshwater drum, common carp, grass carp, or buffalo. All three species hit about the same down here. All right, rod's back out. I wanted to get that in a little better place because I did not cast that exactly right. It's a little bit too far out. Let me get a little bit more corn in the water. And just doing that is really effective for getting these guys to come in. Another bite on worm. Let me see if I can hook this little stinker. I'm on, hit it. pecking on it, trying to get me to set the hook. We got a smart one out here right now. He's like, why should I? I'll just peck on it for a second and let him set the hook and miss him, and that way I'll get the worm. Smart little sucker fish. There's suckers and they're fish, so yeah, sucker fish. All right, that looks pretty good as far as that one is concerned. And we got our little homemade bifocals down here, folks, so we can see the rods and look down the lower part, and so I can see that, read that chat. Peck, peck, peck. Dang it! I should have set the hook. They're being a little sneaky today. Yeah, just trying their best to get that worm off. I'm gonna push this up a little bit. Push that a little bit further off the bottom. Maybe they're getting too close to that weight. There's some bubbles right here by the bank, folks. I mean, not more than a few feet from the shoreline. It's got to be like a buffalo or a grass carp or something in there digging in to get that corn. Man, that sucker won't cast. I don't want to stand up yet. That's better. Sheesh. Stinker would not cast. Hope I got a pretty good camera angle today, folks. Kind of a rush job on today's feed. I didn't have, I kind of looked at the weather and saw she was potential for rain soon, so I had to get out quickly. I was hoping to do a live feed around 1:30 or 2 down on those rocks, but unfortunately, with that impending storms coming in around say 3 o'clock, that was out of the question. So I had to get out here quick. And there's another like little, they're like pecking on it so gently out there. Ping, 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 ping. Yep, there's no way I can hook that. Just ping, ping, ping. Yeah, he's getting less and less worm on there, and he's still hitting it. So eventually, he's got to grab that hook. Eventually. All right, let's get back in the chat, folks. Let's see. Bonnie says, Flava, Chris, good to see you again. Yep, Chris has been kind of busy. Stupid rocks. Yeah, I know I'm off this spot, folks, so I keep getting these friggin'. This is not, I don't think, a set of rocks either, because rocks usually come out. Crap. Popped out on me, so luckily we got our stuff back. Yeah, that's one little benefit of that that little bread wrapper trick that I use. And I bent that hook out again. Yeah, I'm not hitting rock. That's got to be like either wood or I don't want to bend that again because I was figuring that was going to happen. Gonna have to replace that hook. Hang on, folks. I got to replace this hook. That hook bent a couple times and finally snapped. So I gotta find where all my stuff is for doing this. Not in there. I know where my hooks are. It's just I gotta friggin' find something to cut the line with. Let me re-rig this. I could swear I'm getting a bite on corn down there, but he's just pecking on it. Hard to tell with this wind. We just got to put another hook on this one because that one, man, after 2 or 3 times of bending these brownies, they tend to fail on you. These are pretty much the best hooks you can buy as well at Walmart without wanting to spend a fortune. All right, that is back. Question is where do I cast her so I don't get snagged? Kind of one of those toss-ups here, folks. I'm not sure. Probably should keep moving closer and closer to you guys till I get past this rock face. I am getting bites here, so let me see if I can get one of these guys before I figure out whether or not I want to move this rod a little bit further closer towards you. I don't have that many night crawlers. I only got about 40, so I'm trying to make those guys last as long as I can. Ah, freaking reel handle's loosening up on me. That's off. I got some sand in there. Dang it. Wonder what these guys are. Having a hard time settling here without hitting any rocks. Everywhere where I cast, I'm hitting rocks on the bottom. Let's see. Bonnie says, "What a bunch of awesome people we have." Yep, you got it right, Bonnie. Let's see, Nathan. How you doing today, Nathan? Nathan says, "Mike, I'm running to the hardware store. Sorry, can't talk. I'll be back. I promise." All right. Thank you for dropping by, Nathan, and safe travels, my friend. Come back soon. Let's see. Bonnie says, "Hey, Nathan." Boy, L. How you doing, L? L says hi. And Lou the Chicken Dude. How you doing today, Chicken Dude? Chicken Dude says hi. Lou the Chicken Dude says hello. God bless you and my friends and prayers. The Chicken Dude says hi again. And Chicken Dude with those 100. Thank you for those gems, my friend. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then see Zyro. How you doing today, Zyro? Zyro says, here, fishy, fishy. I have to go to channel on this one. Yosef, how you doing, Yosef? Yosef, Ahmad, how you doing today? Ahmad says hi. Dan says, hello, everyone. Finally, I get to watch a show. Alive. Hope you're well, Mike. Doing okay, my friend. It's about 90 degrees out here. It's not too bad. Partly cloudy, so. And Abby, how you doing today, Abby? Abby says, hey. Abby says, I'm excited to count fishing. Train, folks. Second train of the day. See, I'm Mr. Morris. David says, good morning, Mike. Fishing and chat. Seeing Gary. How you doing today, Gary? Gary says, why don't you use a pair of nail clippers? Every time I buy a pair of nail clippers, I lose them out here in the sand. There's probably 50 pairs of sand, of them down here buried. I do carry them a lot when I'm in like O'Fallon Park and stuff, but down here on this river, I just lose them every freaking time I bring them. Abby says, good luck. Abby says, hit that like button and subscribe. I got tired of spending the $52 for the dang things every 2 or 3 trips down here. Abby says, here fishing. Abby says, amazing. Yeah, we've caught one common carp so far, Abby. Let's see, Fried. How you doing today, Fried? Fried says, does the train produce bites? It neither harms nor hurts them. Yeah, these guys are pretty much used to the trains over the years, so doesn't bother them at all. So these fish are born and raised down here on this river, so they're used to those trains going by. Now I'm sure it'll spook a few bait fish, those little fry. So in some retrospect, it has to at least possibly get them to bite a little bit better. But that would have to be a situation where there was bait fish in here for them to be doing that. And I really don't see that many fry over here. I see some smaller fry way back there in the shallows, but that's too shallow for the fish to come into during the day. During the evening times, if you saw during my feed yesterday, we're really pushing into those shallows yesterday. Big grassy, right in front of me, folks. It's a big old grass carp. Every time I cast out a little further here, I get snagged. There's just too many rocks in this location to. We need to move a few feet to the left. Boy, that common carp hit that corn pretty good. So I'm thinking we got a pretty good technique with the jig head today. I might put a little stinger hook on there too. That can sometimes help. I'll add like a little like number 8 or number 10 brown on there with a single kernel of corn on the back of that. All right, that feels okay. No snags at least. So and that one is snagged. Yep, she's in the rocks. Just trying to work her out of them rocks because I don't want to lose any more freaking gear. That's a very small bull weight, so I shouldn't be getting snagged like that, but I am. Coming even closer. Yeah, that's our daily biplane. Yeah, that guy goes over every single day over here. And I sure would like to fish those rocks way down there by that iron thing, but man, with impending storms and stuff coming in, I'm lucky I'm going to get 3 hours out here today before we're going to see. We're going to fish as long as Mother Nature will allow us to fish. Or until we run out of bait, one of the two. Which happens a lot down here. I usually go through a lot of friggin' night crawlers. All right, let me pin that up, Abby. That's very close, my friend. There you go, Abby. Thank you, my friend. Let's see, Zachary. Zachary says, "Have you caught anything yet, bro?" One common carp. We're getting bites. I think I'm a little bit too far over here to the right. I'm probably gonna have to move a little bit that direction to get away from these snags. Because there's a big rock face setting right here. It moves over to sand over here before it goes back over to rocks again. And there's sand in there shallow. It's either go further down that direction into the shallows or go over there into the deeper water. I think I'd rather go into the deeper. Abby says, "You're welcome." All right, 28 incredible people and seeing 46 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. That looks pretty good. We're gonna set that our chat so she doesn't. I don't lose my spot. Again, I think we should move just a little bit further towards you guys. Heck, we could do that, folks. We could just start moving down the shoreline. You'd be surprised at just moving this far in one direction or the other will change your bites. And that didn't get a snag that time. I think I found a spot over here. It's just a little bit further down there. And I haven't baited up that spot, so let me give these guys some munchies. Give these guys a little munchies down here. Doesn't take much. Just a little bit of corn in there, and they get the idea pretty quick. Yeah, I'm wearing my comfy shoes, folks. It's not great in the sand. I slip around a bit, but that's a cool train. It's probably carrying I don't know, coal, something like that. I know something they need to seal up from the top. It's not pressurized. Could be corn, could be grain, could be soybean, could be sorghum, could be wheat. Who knows? Well, the people that loaded it up obviously know. We don't know. As a bite of worm, I saw him pecking. Just put back. I can feel I'm in the rocks again. No, pretty much got most of that worm off. Yeah, we're gonna move a little bit further again. I'm trying to find the spot here to where I'm not gonna get snagged. And you gotta kind of improvise. Sometimes when this water changes the levels, you gotta keep moving around a bit until you find the exact right angle to hit it. You want to hit right before it gets to the rocks. You don't want to get too far away from it, and at the same time, you don't want to get on top of it. Now, obviously, if you get on top of it, you're probably going to get bites if you get right on top of your structure. But getting them out, yeah, that's another matter altogether. Just a couple of feet every time until we figure out which spot I can hold here without getting snagged. You know what? I'm going to move the camera back a little bit as well because as we move this rod further and further forward, we're going to lose our angles on the rod. At least they're that big rod. Let's see if this is the right angle, folks. Trickier than you think. The last feed I got lucky. I kind of stood there for a couple minutes and figured out the right angle, but the water seems to be going like up and down a little bit. So there's still another bite. Yeah, they're still hitting it out there. Come on. Yeah, these ones on worm can be tricky sometimes. Huh, most of that worm off again. We are just burning through our worms right now, folks. I only dug 40 of these guys. I don't want to use them all up too quickly, especially when I'm not hooking these suckers. I'll try once where I'll double up that worm. See if I'm not going to put double worms on there more than once because I don't want to burn through that bait too quickly. One good thing I set the hook and I didn't get snagged, so that's that's a positive development. Yep, and the same thing is down there. I'm not getting snagged down there. Got to find a spot where you can at least fish and not get snagged before you can actually catch some fish. I got a tag end on this one. Let me get rid of it. Yeah, I know clippers. Well, I've lost so many dang pairs of clippers down here on this river. It's insane. It is, folks. I've lost a ton of clippers down here. Carolina rig would probably be better over there, but man, it's so snaggy over there. That's I see him pecking on it. Very, very lightly again. Peck, peck. At least I think we moved just far enough to where I'm not getting snagged anymore. Assuming I can get this little sucker to cast right. Oh, no snag. Just wanted to check. All right, tell you what. Let's get back into chat and see what's going on. See 29 incredible people in and 55 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Let's see Survival. How you doing today, Survival? Survival says hello. Survival says hi. Survival says howdy, Mike. How you doing today, Survival? Got that one, folks. Fish on. Fish on. Buffalo. Yeah, that's a buffalo, folks. Boy, that's a little baby buffalo, folks. That is a little guy. Man, that is a small little buffalo, folks. That's like a pound buffalo. Well, about 2 pounds. So, man, that is a pretty little buffalo, folks. Oh, oh, I got him. We got him. Yeah, that one didn't fight. Oh, ow. Ow, dude. Yeah, that's a hardtack buffalo, folks. So this is not actually the kind you want to keep. See how dark this one is? This is not the kind you want to keep. I'm watching my other rod. I thought I saw something hitting it. Yep. Yep. He is not happy, folks. Yeah, it's about 2 pounds. Boy, that is one beautiful buffalo, folks. Well, and that is bait size there. Man, if you wanted something that works good for cut bait, that is it. That's our second fish of the day, folks. That's about a 2 pounder. Beautiful fish, folks. Ah, incredible, my friends. Yep, he wants back in already. Yeah, he didn't fight until I got him in here, and now he wants to fight. Wonderful, folks. Look at that dark black tail. Those like all those incredible like bronze and greens and beautiful fish, folks. Gotta love it, my friends. Gotta love it. All right, buddy. Let's get you back. All right, girl. See ya. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciated. All right, we're up to two now, folks. That was on worm. I knew them suckers had been pecking on it. I just couldn't hook them. Yeah, there she goes. Right back out there to feed on some more corn. And man, that little stinker slimed me something good. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. So Abby, we caught uh, one carp and one buffalo so far. Yeah, obviously it hit the doubled up worm. Obviously, they love doing that. Like MBP, that one worm is not enough for us to give us your give you our time and energy and let you put us on YouTube. Now, two worms, yeah, two worms are okay, but not one. Yeah, that couple feet move, folks. That was it. It's incredible the differences in spots down here. Just move a few feet. It is, folks. You can fish in one spot and just move 2 or 3 feet, and all of a sudden you'll start catching fish. That was in super shallow water, too, folks. That was in like right by the bank. So they're not going out there too far. Wild says, "Let's go." And that Green River, how you doing, Green River? Green River says, "Hey, Abigail." I'm seeing a Happy Hooker. How you doing today, Happy Hooker? Let me make sure to get you a wrench, Happy. Boy, we are. I don't know what the heck is going on. Oh, there it is. Let's see. Let's see. Standard. And Grumpy Bass, thank you so much for those gems, my friend. Grumpy Bass, the kitty cat, the hamster emoji. Thank you so much, my friend. Grumpy Bass, also let me make sure to get you a wrench as well. There you go, Grumpy Bass. Happy Hooker says, heck yeah, must have gotten the scoot. And see, McCookie, how you doing today, McCookie? McCookie says hi. Green River says, sup, Cookie, welcome in. And Ridge, how you doing today? Ridgeline Writing says, do you ever use cut bait? When I can get skipjack. Now there probably some over there on that point. I don't want to spend like an hour and a half friggin' catching one. They're not schooled up right now, so when they school up, I'll definitely grab a skipjack over there real quick and use that for cut bait. But right now, Warm and corn, good enough for me. Green River says, well done. Thank you so much. And there's another bite. Ah, you little stinker. Yeah, it just goes to show those little peck bites. You never know what they are. Like, oh yeah, them are little fish. No, that's a 3, 4 pound buffalo. That's a 4, 5 pound common carp. You never know. Never know until you get to hooking the suckers. And 9 times out of 10 down here, these bites hit so lightly, folks. The majority of people they wouldn't even get a chance to set the hook unless you're setting right on that rod and getting ready to set that hook when that fish hits. Now there are some of them, like you saw the other day, that one grass carp. I had to take a face plant in the dang old sand to grab my rod. That one, yeah, that was the exception. He probably hooked himself. They do that on occasion, folks. They will hook themselves on occasion. It happens. Let's see. Zachary says you should try using shad. Unfortunately, there's no shad down here on this part of the river. I'd have to buy shad, and usually when you buy store bought shad, it kind of it doesn't do so good. There are skipjack down on this river, and there's a lot of minnows, a lot of small grass carp, common carp, like Asian carp. The smaller ones, the bigger ones tend to get torn up down here. Zachary says, all right. Let's see. Bonnie says, giving us a kiss. Yeah, they do that. That's pretty cool the way they do that onto the feed. They got little tiny mouths. Let's see. Zachary says one carp and one buffalo. Kevin says, I'm in upstate New York, 2 hours south of Montreal, Canada. Where are you fishing? I'm fishing on the mighty muddy Mississippi River today. I'm just missing those friggin' things there. They won't hit one less than one worm. Yeah, we're down by the Arch in St. Louis. Let me get over there. I have to pin that and everything, but I've got to get the stuff on here right. And I'm gonna need more worm than that. That's like one little itty bitty worm. It's not even enough to cover the hook. I need one more. That was a tiny, tiny little worm. I'll put 2 tiny ones on. That'll work. We're using actually a number. I believe it's a number 10 uh, brown eagle claw bait holder hook. These guys work pretty good down here. With the line class I use, I can usually land pretty good fish and pretty good size fish, and I can also hook the smaller ones, which can be a little bit of a trouble down here, folks, because you can get those little ones, they'll drive you nuts. Let's see, Uncle Andy. Uncle Andy says, MVP. Hey there, brother. Let's see, Grumpy Bass also sent the, thank you so much, Grumpy. Let's see, and Dan says, well, and digging out toenails here. You. Zachary says, one carp and one buffalo. Yeah, once I get over there, I'll pin up the first person that does that. Grumpy Bass says, appreciate you, brother. Oh, you're very welcome, Grumpy. And let's see, we have let's see, Follow. How you doing, Follow? Follow sent the gems, my friend. The star. Thank you so much, my friend. Zach says, I throw a cast net for shad and always use shad to catch blue cat and flathead. Like I said, there's not any shad down here on this part of the river. Now there are skipjack and everything, and the last time I brought a cast net down here, I got it torn to pieces. So, all right, Zach, you got it this time. So let me replace that pin. Thank you so much. That's a bite on worm. Got him, folks. Oh boy. Yeah, that's the reason why I use the tiny hooks. Yep, that's our first catfish. Sheesh. Little stinker, that's a channel catfish. That's a kitten, folks. That is a little itty bitty meow meow. Haven't got one of these guys in a while. Dang it, I got you hooked good. Right in the upper part of the jaw. All right, buddy, I got you. Oh, daggum it. Really? Now I got a dirty old kitten. Now I got to clean the kitten off. Don't you hate it when your kittens get all dirty? I hate that. Got to clean my kitten off now. All right, folks. I'll show you this guy before we let him go. That's our first kitten of the day. Man, that little stinker is fat. Little kitten. Meow meow. A kitten. Meow meow. Gotta love it, my friends. Gotta love it. Beautiful little kitten. Ow, ow, ow. Watch your claws, buddy. All right, buddy. Let's get you back in the water. See you, buddy. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciated. Hey, it counts. A fish is a fish, right, folks? And besides, I would never have been able to get past that little stinker until I hooked him. Yeah, those guys will monopolize your worm for freaking an hour. They can eat that little guy. He probably eat 20 worms before he stopped. In fact, he probably ate that many already. I do have a few little red worms in here too. It's getting cooler at night, so actually we're transitioning already this season. It's getting still in the 90s during the day, but it's getting like the low to mid 70s at night. So we're getting some little red worms coming up. Now those little red worms, as soon as it gets cool out, we'll start getting those guys, and they work just as good down here. In fact, sometimes they work better. I haven't checked this corn ride for a while, so let me see what's going on with it. Interestingly enough, I get down there in that shallow water down there, back there, I don't seem to be getting much. They seem to be in here either closer to the bank or they seem to start here and work their way all the way up to that rock face down there. Let's see. Zachary says, one carp, one buffalo, one channel catfish. You got it right, Zach. Let me replace that pin. And our chat might be acting weird. So let me. Yep, our chat is frozen here for a second. So I gotta do that. Hang on, folks. All right, that looks pretty good. One carp, one buffalo, one catfish. You got it right, Zach. There you go. Yeah, our chat was backed up on. That's another reason why to use the backup tablet, folks. Backup device, because even if the chat freezes on that end, it doesn't freeze on this end. Let's see, Bonnie's laughing her butt off. Let's see, and Heather, how you doing today, Heather? Heather says, "Oh, so cute." There's a bite on. Oh, you little man! Look at that. That was on corn right by the bank, folks. How you doing today, Heather? Yeah, that was a big one, folks. I saw the wake from that fish after I set the hook. He turned around and come right back. He didn't like me setting the hook near him. All right, that is back. Again, that was in here really freaking close, so it's incredible how close these guys come into the bank. Let's see. This is also cute. They are at that age, aren't they? Bonnie says, that's a trophy. Ha ha ha, boy. Let's see, lover pups. How you doing today, lover pups? Lover pups with the heart emojis. That'll be our third. I gotta get some more wrenches over here. So let me. Oh boy, yeah, I've got to get some more wrenches here. So there's one, and I will also add Zach. And there we go. There you go. Now you guys can sub up to everyone. Do that little cool thing. Grow together, my friends. Let's see. Spencer says the world record. Zachary says one cart, one buffalo, one channel cat. You got it right. Spencer says I'm having a bad day, and you made my day. Thank you. All right, let me make sure to get that's one more than my regular. I usually only do 5 wrenches a day, but Spencer, I'll tell you what, I'll pop you a wrench as well. That'll be number 5. There you go. That's one more than I usually do, but hope that helps you out, my friend. And I do hope you feel better soon. And seeing Crazy, how you doing, Crazy? Crazy says, "Hey chat, how is everyone today?" And Mahad, how you doing today, Mahad? Mahad says hi. Mahad says hi again. Mahad with the fishy emojis. And see, Bonnie says, "Sorry, Spencer. Hope your day." Yep. Let's put some prayers in the chat for Spencer. This says all good. Thanks, Mike. Hope you're well. Doing okay. We've got one nice buffalo and one nice common carp so far, and we're still getting bites. These little stinkers are tough to hook, though. I mean, they are just very, very lightly pecking on it. So lightly, in fact. That rod just pecked twice, and that was it. And I got no stupid rocks again. Oh, boy. Now, one good thing, I'm so close to the bank that it seems to be coming out. I can get some worm back on here, and I'll get back into that chat, okay, folks? I got a ton of stupid worm guts right up on my hook. Ouch! Man, that hook is sharp. Woohoo! Almost went by the barb. Now I know how the fish feel. That stung, but only for a minute. How the heck did that get a knot in the line? I'm gonna have to retie this, folks, because there's a knot in that line right by the hook. I don't know how that happened, but I'm not letting that let's that stand. And it's got a little tag in on it. I'm gonna have to get that off of there. Yeah, unfortunately, we got a knot in the line right above the right above the hook, and that is like asking for trouble. That's like seriously, like I want a big fish on here so it can snap right where that knot is. I could probably use the hook 10 minutes and gotten that out, but why do it like that when I can just retire in like a minute? Got that tag end on again. Yeah, I know, folks. Use clippers. It's just I've lost so many of them down here, folks. I've kept one, a Dollar General. I bought out the clippers they've had at Dollar General. I bought so many of them stupid things over the last couple of years. And there goes some canoers down the river. Always amazes me people canoeing down this river. I suppose if you know what you're doing, it would be fine. It's just I'm good at smaller creeks and lakes and stuff with canoes, but fast moving creeks I'm okay with, like the Merrimack River, but down here not so much. This is like too fast a moving current for me. Good cast. All right, let me refresh this corn one as well. Nothing. Corn's still on there as well, so that's gonna get flipped right back out again. All right, let's get back into that chat and see what's going on. Hope you guys are enjoying the show today. We've caught two nice ones already. Let's see. Brian says, how you doing today, Brian? Brian says, what's up, Mike? I missed it. How big was the carp and the buffalo? Uh, see, the common carp was about 4 pounds. The buffalo was about 3. So no monsters down here, but they gorgeous, fun size. I mean, really healthy fish. Let's see. Mahad says, hi, my friend. How are you? How much fish? Let's see. One buffalo and one common carp so far. Oh yeah, and a channel catfish too. So I forgot about the little kitten as well. Well, it says I don't want to look. Let's see. Abby says, "Hey Heather." Abby says, "Hey Zach." And Spencer says, "Thank you. You're very welcome, my friend." Again, I hope you feel better soon. Abby says, "Hey Speech." Let's see, and Lee, how you doing today, Lee? Lee says, "Fishing the best." How you doing today, my friend? See, Spencer says, "Do you go live often?" I haven't gone live for a while. But I usually do 3 to 5 live feeds a week. Now we haven't gone live feed in a while because yeah, our scooter broke down up there, so we had to get a new one. Who is this? Oh, he says hi. Let's see, crazy with the retracted message. Let's see. As of he's starting to think about it out there. Bonnie says hello, Lee. Crazy says, what kind of rod is the green one? That's a Mad Cat series. That's the green goblin there, buddy. The other one's a fluger over here. Lee says Bonnie. Spencer says uh John's it's a spinning reel. The baitcaster over here is the Green Goblin series. At the spinning combo is a fluger over here. That's a 6'6" medium action fluger. See, Spencer says Lee. Lee says Spencer. Let's see, fishing with Rivers. Rivers says, good to see you. Good to see you too, my friend. He says, if I got down like you, I'd never get back up. Hey, it takes practice. Trust me. Spencer says, oh no. Let's see, Spencer says, do you go bass fishing at all? I do go bass fishing during the spring and fall. Uh, let's see. Fairgrounds. I had a number of nice trips. I got some like 1 7 pounder, a lot of nice 2 and 3 pounders. Spinner baits, top waters were pretty much what was working that day. See, Crazy says, "Yep, Mad Cat series. You got it right." See, Spencer says, "Nice." All right, 20 incredible people in. It's seeing 77 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. All right, let's check that chat. Make sure she's set. We are just on the edge of that rock face too, because every time I cast her, I can feel her rubbing against it when I'm reeling it in. Yeah, this rod casts fine. It's the reel. I've got an old Shakespeare on there I bought back in 1982. It's the only reel I've got that's big enough that can hold a decent amount of 20-pound test. And that Mad Cat series rod, man, anything under 20-pound test will break the line. I should probably have like 25-pound on her. I've only got an eighth of an ounce of weight on that one too. If I put like a half ounce or an ounce of weight on that, I could cast most of the line off that reel. Let's move this over a little bit closer so I can see her. Because that far over, I can't really see her great. As we keep moving further and further over to the left, I'm going to keep moving the camera with us. But I haven't moved the big cat rod. That's when I move the camera. Almost seems like there's not a lot of fish in one spot. There's like a couple of nice fish in one spot, and then you have to move a little bit, and there'll be a few more fish in that spot. And I don't know. It kind of seems like that. And that buffalo really slimed the heck fire out of me too. I got away with getting that common carp in, but that buffalo, man, that sucker slimed me. That was kind of a hardtack buffalo too, folks. That wasn't one of the ones you want to keep. That one only gets like to be about 8 or 10 pounds. The other species gets much bigger, and those are the ones you kind of want to take home for food because it's a little less gamey of a meat, or so I hear. I haven't eaten them in a while. She says nice. See, Spencer says, have I caught any 10-pound bass or bigger? Oh boy, it's been, I guess, about 6 years since I've caught a 10-pound largemouth. The last one I got was 10.2 pounds up at Fairgrounds Park. That was about 6 years ago. I do have that somewhere in one of my short feeds, somewhere around there. It's somewhere. I got thousands of short feeds, so I don't know where the heck fire it is. You're probably better off looking it up on in Fishbrain. Yeah, that was on a mini Strike King spinnerbait with tip with a little thing like that. It was a little we call it a trick worm. See, Spencer says, also, do you fish there at all? Yeah, I fish fairgrounds quite a bit sometimes. Grumpy Bass sent the $5. Thank you so much, Grumpy Bass. Thank you for that super chat. Welcome everyone in. Like and subscribe. Awesome, my friend. Let me make sure to get that a heart. Thank you so much, Grumpy Bass. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's for the lime green. Thank you so much. Let's get some WWs in the chat for Grumpy Bass. Spencer says, thanks so much, Grumpy Bass, for the donation. Grumpy says, Spencer. Spencer says, thank you. And see on Fake Fishing. How you doing, Fake Fishing? Fake Fishing says hi. Spencer for the donation. Fake Fishing says hi again. Ethan says, I'm back from the hardware store, Mike. Any luck? Let's see, we've caught one buffalo and one common carp so far. Grumpy Bass says, fantastic channel to support. Thank you so much, Grumpy. I appreciate it, my friend. I've been struggling to get to the $100 mark this month. With my short feeds and my I don't get many, donations. So with my short feeds and my live feeds, I think that'll push me about $80. Oh, my stupid. We got a couple more days to go. I believe the transition, the periods, I think the 8th. So we got a few more days to go. Yeah, I probably would have made it already if that scooter hadn't broken down. Kind of the reason why I make like 4 or 5 short feeds, not only the fact I like making them, but also if you make like 5 short feeds a day and you get like 7 or 800 views on that, eventually during the month, if you do like live streams like every other day, you'll make it. But let's see. Spencer says, wow, Grumpy Bass, thank you so much. Ethan says, Bonnie. And let's see, Anderson. Andrew says hi. See, Spencer says hi, Nathan. Spencer, and again, thank you, Grumpy Bass. Thank you so much. Thank you for that $10 super chat, my friend. The banana yellow. Thank you so much. Let me make sure to get a thumbs up on that as well. And I get you a heart there, buddy. Thank you so much, Grumpy Bass. Thank you, thank you. Hey, that's more donations than I've gotten almost the entire month. Nathan says, $80 for the live. Or what? Oh, no, for the okay, so Spencer, until you make $100 on YouTube, you cannot. There's a $100. We call it. Like you have to get over that $100 before you can make. Before you can get paid. Now that's over an entire month, and that'll push over to the next month if you don't make it. But you only make a small amount of money on YouTube, Spencer. I mean, I'm talking like maybe $1, $2 a live feed. And my short feeds, I'm usually making like 20 or 30 cents on. So I know that doesn't sound like much, but I don't get like 20 or 30,000 views on any of my stuff. Now you do make quite a bit on long form videos, but my long forms have like there have been so many people doing long forms right now. The only time I ever do any real good on long forms is during the wintertime when people kind of run out of content to put on. And I can dig into my backup stuff that no one's ever seen. I've recorded that stuff over the entire summer. I can put that stuff out during the winter. That's the really only time when my long forms do any good because there's so much competition right now. There's no way to keep up with it. Let's see. Bonnie says, Nathan, good to see you. Spencer says, thank you so much, very much for the $10 grumpy bass. Awesome, my friend. That should push us. We've got about $10 left. Thank you so much. That is just awesome. Again, thank you, Grumpy Bass. Ethan says, same to you, Bonnie. Oh, that was a $15? No, that's $9.99. I see it. Same to you, Bonnie. Let's see, Spencer. And another $5 Gail. Thank you so much, Gail. Thank you for that super chat. That's for the Gar Fund. That's probably what I'm missing out here right now. But you know me, I'll hook up into one of them. Again, thank you so much, Gail. That's the lime green. Awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. There you go. You got a heart and a thumbs up. Awesome, Gail. Thank you so much, my friend. That's definitely more donations than I've gotten the entire month. Thank you guys so much. Spencer says, thanks so much for the donations, Gail. Yeah, let's get some WWs in the chat for Gail and for Grumpy Bass. Ethan says, if air. Grumpy Bass says, Gail, woo. Spencer says, and thank you so much for the Gar fun. Spencer says, fun. Bonnie says, awesome, Gail. Bonnie says, awesome. Nathan says, thank you, Gail. Spencer says, but all together, Grumpy Bass says, donate. Yep. Yep, you're right. He's donated 15. You got that right. That hopefully will push us over, folks. Spencer's with the WW. Spencer says, we. With more W's. Awesome. Thank you, Spencer. Bonnie says, Gail with the WWs. Nathan says, she's okay with that, so. But just one or two is fine. Gotta kind of watch that stuff. YouTube will start looking at that weird, like, what's going on? Let's see, Nathan with the WW, Grumpy Bass, and Gail. Let's see, Bonnie with the W. Thank you so much for those gems. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Randy, how you doing today, Randy? Randy says, how many you caught yesterday? Let's see. Yesterday I caught 2 grass carp, uh, 13 freshwater drum, a buffalo, and a gar. Not quite as active today, per se, but we're still getting bites. Just hooking these little stinkers seems to be a little bit harder today. That was an evening run too. I'd like to fish those rocks down there, but folks, but we've got some storms coming that way. You can see upriver. That's definitely some impending storms out here, folks. We're gonna see how long Mother Nature allows us to fish. Let's go. Some W's in chat. Jason says it's amazing. In Montana, how you doing today? Montana Bass Fishing says I caught a northern pike. Awesome, my friend. Crazy says nice fishing. Nathan says hey Cajun. Let's see. Spencer says 14 freshwater fish is amazing work. Good job. Yeah, it was a pretty fun feed yesterday. That was a bite on worm. I saw him peck on it pretty good. Yeah, those grassies yesterday, they were fun. Spencer says, hi, Bonnie. See, Nathan says, Spencer, he also went face in the sand. Yeah, this rod, it literally got pulled down there, and yeah, the butt of that rod was going that way. And I was way over by you guys, so I dive in like I was diving into home base, home plate. Yeah, that's on a short feed. I just put that out today. Bonnie says, hello, Spencer. Crazy says, I never did any carp fishing, but I'm about to start. Is corn what you use for bait? Let's see. Corn is a good chum bait. It doesn't always work to catch them, however. Now, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. You also have like they've got a store brand called Magic Bait, Carp Bait. It's okay. It's relatively easy to use. Your garden variety night crawlers are primarily what I use for carp. Now, corn does work great for chum. It'll bring them in, but a lot of times you can't get them to hit it. Hit it on the hook, anyways. See, Bonnie says, yes, Mike. Went fishing and fish diving yesterday. Yeah, I did. It looked more painful than it was. I just got one nice little bruise right there. It was worth it. For pretty good content for you guys, it was worth it. Bonnie says, yeah. Crazy says, hi, Nathan. Nathan says, Cajun corn works for carp. I just use whole kernel sweet corn. Now, I do believe like white corn works okay as well in like really muddy water. Corn actually works much better in like cooler water temps, cooler and clearer water temps, because that corn shows up for him. He's still pecking on it there. He just won't hit it. Like ping, bing, ping, bing. That little stinker won't make up his mind. Peck. Do that again. Yeah, trying to get that worm off, but it's not having any luck. Yeah, I know that reel makes a pretty yucky sound, but I've tried to fix her plenty of times. It doesn't seem like she wants to get fixed. And see, Bonnie says it was Spencer, Mike. Mike's so entertaining. Oh yeah, it was fun. I dove for that rod. That was fun as heck. I'm glad I didn't lose my rod, because that's the only thing that would have got me angry is if I'd have lost the rod. Then I'd just gone in after it. I'd have kept on going. I wouldn't have stopped down here till I got a hold of her. And see, Spencer says, Mike, my mom says hi. Hi. And see, and Mental. How you doing today, Mental? Mental says hi. Mental says MVP fishing hello. Mental with the heart emojis. Mental with the fishy emojis. Mental says he liked. Awesome, my friend. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoy the show today. Let's see, Spencer says, Mike, you are 18 likes away from 100. How the heck did that happen? Up, you have 19 people in and 82 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Mental says hi. Mental says hi. Mental says hi. Yeah, if you could, once or twice is okay. 3 times is pushing it. I try to watch that stuff on YouTube because I've heard of a number of channels just getting bombed off of existence on YouTube for people doing that too much. Once and twice is fine, but yeah, you got to watch it. You don't understand, folks, that there is a an AI that is in on everyone's live streams continuously. That's continuously monitoring that stream, and it is so easy for it to pick up something it doesn't like. Now, a lot of stuff it's not gonna bomb your channel off of existence. It's just gonna not push you, and that push is important for smaller channels like us. That's why I tell folks this is our channel. Without you guys, I wouldn't be out here. Well, I'd be out here fishing. I just wouldn't be filming it. Yeah, that sucked. I'm gonna have to get up here for a minute. Get some distance on her. That's a little better. Can't really cast this one with that 1/8 of an ounce. I've got bigger weights. It's just they won't hit them heavier weights down here. They really won't. I fished with bigger weights down here for days and not gotten bites. But put a little weight on there and then they'll pop it. All right, let's see if that holds over there. Surprised I'm not seeing too many grass carp up right now. I'm seeing a few out here, but not that many. But they do move in schools, folks. There'll be like 30 of them here one day, and the next they'll have moved on, and the next trip there'll be another 20 or 30 down here, and that's kind of the way they work. We already caught 2 nice fish, folks. Let's see. Nathan says, "Mental, try not to spam." Yep, under 3 or 4 messages, please. Let's see. And Chris, how you doing, Chris? Chris says, "Have you caught any fish yet, bro?" Yeah, we've caught 2 so far. One nice buffalo and one nice common carp. Spencer says, "Everyone likes so you can reach 100." Spencer says, "Chris, look at the pin chat." Hey, people just like to ask. I don't mind. I don't mind answering. Oh yeah, there are channels that do that. I just don't. Crazy says thank you. Let's see. Nathan says no problem. Spencer says Nathan, that was mean. Chill. Uh Spamming. So please try to keep that spam down, folks. Oh, that was a bite on man. That was ooh. Dang it. That was doubling it, folks. That was on corn out there. Crap. I was watching that spam coming in. I looked over and that rod was going over the stick. Crap. Now, where did I cast that? I think I cast that out there deeper, but I let that drift down. That's a bad kernel. Chunks of the shoreline breaking off again. That's a pretty good pull bite, folks. It just, I didn't get to it in time. Kind of messing with chat right now. All right, what's going on here? You're no worries. Let's see. Crazy says thank you. Yeah, it's just spamming chat like that can be very, very bad for a channel. Ethan says Spencer. I warned him. Yep, you did. Oh, I mean, true. You got it. That's what I usually do. I usually give like you delete the message and start off with a small timeout, like 15 seconds, and keep increasing that until you can give several warnings if you like, but yep, keep it fishing related, definitely. Spencer says my best friend just got grounded for 2 weeks. Dang, man. Spencer says I'm so mad. Says, oh no. I have to go for 20 minutes. We'll be back live then. All right. Thank you for dropping by, Spencer, and come back soon, my friend. Let's see. Love Nightmares. Love Nightmares asked, you catch anything yet, sir? Yeah, we've caught one nice buffalo and one nice common carp so far. Ethan says, yeah, Mike is starting off with 1 minute fine and 2 minutes the next. You got it. Nathan says, hi, Ron. Spencer says, okay, and bye. All right. Have a good day, my friend. And there are certain things in chat that are really bad. If you know what I'm talking about, they're just immediate 24-hour timeouts. Racism, sexism, that sort of thing. Just sexual content, just pop them for 24 hours on that type of stuff. That's one of the few things I will not stand in chat. Try to keep her PG-13 as well, folks. I mean, if you ever watched a PG-13 movie, try to keep it kind of like that. We try. I mean, we don't always succeed, but we try. That was a good bite on that one corn rod. I just wasn't over there to get to it. That's frustrating. And my worm bites kind of died off over here as well. Guys might still be a little full from yesterday. I should have gone down there on those rocks today, but I just really didn't want to fight those rocks with the impending storms coming around. Not a good idea, folks, to be going down there and messing with like a big iron rock face with thunderstorms popping up and down. Yeah, that down there is just like one gigantic lightning rod. Yeah, even the worm bites kind of settled down right now, folks. I'm not sure what's going on. Oh, bite on corn. Oh, you little. Mm. Just a few seconds, just a split second behind that, folks. Just man, that was a pop, pop, pop on corn. Dang it! I guarantee you that was a good one, folks. I'm gonna off shank that hook just a little bit because if that was a buffalo, I might not have been able to get that hook into him. Bite on worm, I see him. Got him, folks. Fish on. Fish on. What do we got? All right, our first freshwater drum of the day. Awesome, folks. That's our third fish of the day. So we caught one common carp, one buffalo, and this is our first freshwater drum of the day. Awesome fish, my friends. Check it out, those silvers in this sun. And who don't like drum? I love these guys. Beautiful guy. Yeah, I do. I really love these fish. They hit all year long down here. Incredible fish, my friends. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Let's get in here one close up for you guys. Awesome, my friends. All right, buddy. Oop. Ah, see ya. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciated. Hey, we're still catching fish, folks. They're a little slower today. Not by much, just a little bit. You gotta understand too, folks, that I didn't do a live stream for 2 weeks, and this is my second one in a row. So it's gonna take me a little while to get back in the groove of doing this. To just push for 3 or 4 hours and ignore being old. Honestly, I mean, yeah, I'll be 59 in August 31st, so that's getting up in there in ages, folks. Honestly, I used to be able to do this 5 or 6 hours down here without even batting an eye. But those decades will catch up with you. That's for sure. Hey, we're catching fish, folks. That's our so we've caught one freshwater drum, one common carp, and one buffalo. And that's some bubbles right there, right by the bank. You can see that fish. There's definitely like a that's probably a small buffalo digging in there right by the bank. He's digging in there, picking up some corn. I see the worm. I see him. No, let it go. Okay, never mind. I saw him hitting it though. Yeah, that's just drift fishing down there, folks. What's happening is this corn started to drift down here, and there are a few active fish down here. So when that corn drifts by them, they take a couple of whacks at it. I just set the hook right behind that last one. Let's see. Nathan says, look at the pin. Let's see. Nightmare says, well done, champ. Thanks, my friend. Nathan says, how was your day, Ron? Crazy says, hope you're looking up on a nice one. Nathan says, gotcha, Mike. If I see it, I'll most definitely do it. Yeah, bullying also, definitely. Crazy says, I agree. No need to any of that stuff. Yep, this is a fishing channel. Try to keep her, yep. Chris says, well, you brother, pray for I haven't been on here since fighting for my life threatening health problems. I wasn't able to buy another, buy because, love y'all. See, Bonnie says, agree, not safe, Mike. Nathan says, sorry to hear that, Chris. Yes, sir, you're in my prayers, my friend. Let's see, Nathan says, fish on. Crazy says, good old Gasper Goo. Nathan says, awesome. Chris says, good fish, bro. Thank you so much, Chris. Let's see, Nathan says, Chris, give a fish count, man. He says, Chris, give a, yep. Chris says, thank you for all the love, you brother. We're family. Nothing without each other. Definitely, my friend. Let's see, Nathan says, guys, someone do some fish counts. Well, I messed up in here in chat here. Seeing Care Bear, how you doing today, Care Bear? Care Bear with all the cool emojis. Thank you so much for the member emojis. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Nathan says hi, Care Bear. Chris says, I've missed being here. I was on every day for a few months ago. I missed every one of you. We missed you too, my friend. Let's see, Nathan says, someone give a fish count. One freshwater drum, one buffalo, and one carp. Nathan says hello. Uh, Care Bear says hi, Nathan. Chris says, let me put that up for you guys. And Care Bear, you've been in chat for a long time, so let me add that while I'm over here. Chris says, thanks, Cajun. Let's see. Oh, Bonnie, you missed it. One drum, one catfish. Bonnie, you missed it. So you were so close. Let's see. Cactus, how you doing today, Cactus? Please English if you can. If you can, emojis are fine, my friend. Crazy says, oh, was it supposed to be a carp, not a catfish? Yeah, we've caught one channel catfish, one freshwater drum, uh, one buffalo, and one common carp. So we've actually caught four so far. I forgot about the little channel catfish we caught. Chris says, "Oh wow, bro, caught many different types of fish today." Yep, and we're just carp. I was copying the last pin because it was said catfish. Oh, as a come on, folks, fish on. That's a big one. Yikes! Whoa, buddy, whoa! Yeah, he's in the big current down there. Come on, girl, get out of that stuff. Ooh, man, that was some rocks he was popping on. Man, that sucker took off. That is a monster, folks. And that is on a tiny little jig head. Remember I kept seeing that little fish pecking on it. Well, I finally got the hook into him. Get this other rod out of the way so I can concentrate on this one. Come on, girl, slow down. Sheesh. Man, burning my hand is running so hard. I don't know what we got. I think we got a common because usually that's one of the few things that'll run that hard. That fish ran 30 yards of line. I'd put my finger down on the reel and burnt my friggin' finger. Oh, it's shaking its head. I don't know yet. Yeah, that's 8-pound test, folks. So that's one of the reasons why I can get these big ones to hit. I use this light gear. Yikes. Friggin' shoreline's collapsing underneath us down here. That mic feed is still on. I'm just checking. On how long we've been in. Man, this is a grassy grass carp, folks. Yeah, that's a grass carp, folks. That's a big one too. Man, this is going to be a tough one on that little jig head. That's one of Steve Turner's, one of his jig heads he sent me. That's like a 1/16 ounce jig head. This is for catching crappie. Come here, big girl. Man, these guys can fight. Yeah, I think we're going to switch the camera around on this one, folks, because there's no way I'm going to be landing her on this shoreline. We're going to have to switch her around here. Hang on, folks. Let me do this. Let's get this situated here. That's the only way I can get these big brutes in here on this shoreline is to switch her around and move into the shallows down here. Yikes, girl, slow down. Sheesh. Come on, big girl. Oh, yeah, she's thrashing now. She ain't happy. Yeah, it's like a dark green one, folks. This must have come out of the shallows in there. Come on, big girl. Yeah, I've been fighting these fish for years, folks. So I like to challenge myself with this lighter gear. Plus, a lot of times they won't. Yeah, that's about a 15. She won't go 20, but yeah, that's a good one, folks. Yeah, she's gonna have a temper tantrum when I get her into the shallows in here. Yeah, that's a solid 15. This is fun. Hey, I use like light gear down here. This is 8-pound test. The Yeah, the same stuff I use to fish for crappie. If I miss them, if I don't miss them, oh well. It's fun. Yeah, just like a little, like 3 little kernels of corn right by the bank with a little crappie jig. I mean, if you had a cane pole, you could probably have gotten them, but there's no way you could have landed them. Yeah, that is just one brute of a fish, folks. And that jig head has got to be ready to be bent out. This is going to be one heck of a fight to get this fish in here, folks. Well, let me see how our camera angles are doing. Whoa, dude, whoa. Dang it, we're looking good. Actually, that looks perfect. Yeah, that looks perfect, folks. Tin can, get that out of here. Come here, big girl. I really got to get my fly rod down here and fish for these guys soon. Yeah, she is not ready to come in. She's playing around in that shallow water. Whoa, girl, whoa. Keep that head up, Michael. Keep her up so she can't breathe. Yeah, keep her head up. Man, these guys can fight. I'm waiting for her to tie her out and get her in the sand here. She's not ready quite yet. We're getting her there. Come here, girl. Quit it. Get back here. Oh, yeah, that's easy 15. Come here, girl. Come here. Come here. Yeah, we got her, folks. We got her. I think we got her. Well, maybe not. Get back here. Get back here. Mortal Kombat. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, ow. Man, just cut that line right into my finger. Man, that stung. And that hook is out, folks. She's not out yet. Not quite. She don't want me to touch that hook, dude. What the heck? Every time I touch that hook, she's going nuts. All right, hook is out now, folks. All right, let's get her up for you guys to check out. Get her cleaned off for you guys. Yeah, that's about 15. There we go, folks. Awesome fish, my friends. Whew. Yep, this one's not happy. Oh, yep. Not happy. That stung, 50. Yep, this one's not happy, folks. Yeah, this one is not happy. Yeah, it's like a 15-pound fish thrashing in your arms like that. Incredible fish, folks. Yeah, this guy is just, man, this one is got some attitude, folks. Incredible fish, folks. Gotta love it. That's about 15. Let's get one in here close for you guys. Man, that fish fought her heart out. Oh, yeah. Backhanded me again. Ugh. That was my skull. Dude, she just knocked herself unconscious on my skull. Now let's get this fish back in the water, folks. She's had enough. Yeah, let's get this fish back in the water. Now, I don't know what's wrong with this fish, but man, she is having a hissy fit. All right, go. You ready to go? You ready? There you go. I don't know what's wrong with that fish. She was having a hissy fit. Whew. Thank you. Thank you for not knocking me unconscious. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wow. Let me get some of this muck off, folks. Whew. And you guys wonder why I wind up wearing the same shirt a couple times down here, because after one feed, it's like I'm gonna have to take this to the cleaner and spend 20 minutes to clean her off to get her to. Like, she hit me in the back of the head a number of times. She headbutted me, and I got that on film too. Ow. Yep. She knocked my jaw out of socket. Hang on, folks. Ah, there it goes. Yep, she knocked my jaw out of socket. Haven't had one do that in a while. All right, folks, let's get back to our regular spot here. Oh, man, that's some fight and a half, folks. All right, that looks pretty good, I think. Make sure there's nothing on the bottom. All right, that looks pretty good. How's our imagery? Looks okay, I guess. Yeah, pretty clear to me. All right, let's get back into some fishing and let's get into some chat. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. Not bad for a 59-year-old man battling them brutes like that, huh? You guys giving it up? This evening when the shade gets down here, it gets really good. Oh, okay. You guys caught anything today? Yeah, that's one of my favorite spots. It's got its own little sandy bar. Yeah, I'd go 12, something like that. I'm doing a YouTube live stream right now. Yeah, pretty much. I keep them every once in a while, but for the most part, I just let them go. Oh, by the way, my YouTube channel's MBP Fishing. Now, MB is in boy. Yep, MBP Fishing. Yep. All right, thank you. Don't forget to subscribe. Dang it. That was a sucky cast, Michael. Yep, always trying to push the channel, folks. Always trying to push the channel. That was a terrible cast, but after you getting that big fish on here, that line is going to be like super tight on there, so I'm going to have to. That's a good cast. That's basically what I did, folks. I just cast that out there and just let that drift down there into the into that spot down there. All right, that's back out. Let's come check that chat, see what's going on. Assuming I can find out where the heck I was. Yeah, after I hook a fish, man, I lose a lot of chat here, folks. It's hard to get up, get back in here. Oh, another dang it, I was pulling on it. That was on corn, so here we go. I found it. Let's see. Abby says, "Hey, Nate." Abby says, "Hey, Abby." Abby says, "What's the number of fish?" Let's see. Boy, it's gonna be a while before I catch up to it, but tell you what, I can do that with this one over here. Our number right now is one grass carp, one common carp, one freshwater drum, one buffalo, one channel catfish. I think that's it. Buffalo, grass carp, channel catfish, freshwater drum, and common carp. Yep. Yep, you got it right, Nathan. Get that in there, Abby. I'm gonna set over here. I'm gonna lose my rods again. Abby says, "Wait till we find out what we got." Yeah. So we got one freshwater drum, one common carp, one channel catfish, one buffalo. Yeah, one freshwater and one grass carp. So five. Five altogether so far today. Abby says, "Ouch." Ethan says, "Probably a catfish." Dang, I was wrong. You were outdoor offline team. How you doing, offline team? Offline team says hi. Abby says, "I need a good luck." And Chris, that is amazing. Yeah, I've been fighting these guys for years. It takes practice. Nathan says, "I know Bonnie Abby. Go for it, girl." Nathan says, "Lemon, help." Let's see, 32 incredible people in it, 102 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Chris says, "Who's the female on here?" I don't know. Bonnie says, "Go for it, Abby." And Crazy with the LOL. Abby says, "Thank you so much." Nathan says, "Awesome, Abby." Says, "I need to try that trick." That's a pretty cool technique. And that current ripped me all the way down to the bank over here. So let me recast this. Pulled me right into the shoreline. And looks like that bait's gone too. And that's what happens when I get away from that rod. These guys strip my bait off. And my glasses are covered with muck, folks. I can't see diddly bunkus right now. I'm guessing what I'm seeing around me. Yeah, we did have some other anglers down here, but they left, so I kept keeping an eye on my scooter. I'm paranoid. And remember, I've got one of them uh, stolen down here, so I'm always very paranoid about losing another one. I know there's probably no chance of it happening, but it happened once, and I'm very, very paranoid about it. And here we are. I lost my spot in chat. Damn, thank gummit, man. Give me a chance to get the muck off my glasses. Awesome. All right, Abby, let me pin that up for you. And there you go, Abby. Thank you so much, my friend. It's easier to do over there. I could still over here. It's easier. And see, Nathan says, "Awesome job, Abby." Abby says, "I did it." Abby says, "What a fish! Woo!" Abby says, "I'm a favorite fish." Abby says, "Good job." Abby says, "5 fish today so far." Yep, not as many fish, but definitely bigger ones. Yep, 20 people in and seeing 100 and 104 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Abby says, "I need to try fishing." Hey, no better day than to start than today, my friend. Find yourself a nice little pond or creek or something. Go down there and see what you can get to hit. Let's see, big boy Bambi asking, he trains today. Too earlier in the feed, actually. I haven't seen any recently. Abby says, "Awesome." Abby says, "You're welcome." Abby says, "Hi, Wyatt. Sorry, I was excited. Did you see that fish? It was woo." Yeah, that one had an attitude, folks. Yeah, my jaw, I'm gonna have to take some Tylenol and get back home. He dislocated my jaw. That's not the first time that's happened either, folks. Probably won't be the last. Yeah, sometimes you'll just get one that has an attitude. All right, we're looking good, folks. We're looking good in chat. Trying to get some of the sand off me. Freaking couch at home is like half the river sand is stuck in my couch at home. Because the first thing I do when I get home is I sit and I rest on my couch. I should go in and shower first, but I pooped when I get home. I just go ahead and sit in my dang my couch, and you could probably build a sand castle out in my couch right now. The amount of sand I got stuck in it from up here. No joke, folks. A little bit of a joke, but still true. If I definitely need a new rod for this fluger because this line is really that tip is just about gone. Good cast, Michael. That's right where I've been holding down there. She just drifts a little bit down there and kind of sticks in there. Yikes. Yeah, that grass cart really mucked up the works, folks. This shirt was clean when I came out. I swear it was clean. They going grass carp. If you don't believe me, check out this shirt in the beginning of the feed, folks. It was clean. Another thing, everything we've gotten today has been on our lighter gear. So that's just going to show you how much clearer this water's getting down here. I'm just checking our times. Nothing to worry about, folks. So one thing you can't check with the tablet is how long you've been in. The clock only shows up on the on the phone that you're actually streaming on. That little stinker won't come off, will it? And what is that? Some kind of unknown stain. Probably grass carp saliva. Yeah, that sucker did. He jacked me jacked me in the side of the jaw and dang near almost knocked me unconscious, man. That's how hard he hit me on the side of the head. Bit my glasses out of. Sheesh. Seriously, I'm gonna need some liquid heat on my jaw when I get home. That sucker stung. Missed him, and I got that snag. He was pecking on it real lightly, and I set the hook right into the snag. And that would have happened. That snapped too. No, it didn't come off the rocks. And didn't bend the hook. That's why I like that little bread wrapper trick, folks. See how that comes off a lot of times? That'll slip on that rock, and that'll give it just enough room to come out of rock or stick or whatever it's on. Yikes. Yeah, this shoreline is not doing very good right now, folks. She's collapsing in on us again. Now, that happens when the water starts raising up slowly. Now, if it raises up real quick, it just covers up the sand real fast. But when it's slowly rising, it just eats the edge of the sandbars away. Glasses are all messed up. Good cast, Michael. It's about 8 or 10 feet. And sounds like we got another train coming. Sounds like we got another train coming, folks. Abby says you're welcome. Let's see. Bambi says hi. And Kiddo, how you doing? Yep, this is St. Louis, Kiddo. And Ewas, how you doing today, my friend? Yeah, probably was. I like in a boxing match, and that fish was using its back tail to knock me unconscious. There goes the train, my friends. And Dougie Doug, how you doing today, Dougie Doug? Dougie Doug says hi, Mike. Kiddosa, yep, St. Louis, you got St. Louis, Missouri. There's a peck bite on worm again. Very, very lightly pinging on it. You watch this, howdy, Doug. You watch this train bite. And Brandon Fishes Washington says hello, everyone. How you doing today, Brandon? Nathan says hi, Brandon. Brandon says hi, Nathan. Nathan says I'm gonna go back. Get out. Go back and check it out. That's a good one, folks. That's gonna make a heck of a short beat today. Abby says, hey, Brandy. And see him, Big Uncle. Big Uncle says I'm driving that train. Hello. Let's see. Brandon says, did you see the community post, bro? I'm not sure. Let's see. Big Uncle says, did you see me waving? Oh, let me check this. And Dougie Doug, thank you for those good luck coins. So my friend. See, go to channel here. I'll check home video shorts, community. I don't see anything on here. But I gave you a sub anyways, Brandon. You got 85 subs now. I'll have to check that out when I get back home. I did sub to you, so I'll make sure to see if I can find that. Oh, there's a bite on. Got him, folks. Fish on. What do we got? Oh, pulled off. Man, that was a gar. Dang it. Shoot. That was a pretty good gar I just pulled off of. I think gummit. How'd I miss that fish? That hook's razor sharp, so I shouldn't have missed it. Well, sometimes you just don't get gar in the right places. If you don't hook them right in the right spot, you're going to miss them. See, Brandon says, went walleye fishing last night and hit some big walleye on the new custom American bait and tackle shad plastics. I got you, my friend. Sounds awesome to me. Let's see, Skyward. How you doing, my friend? Skyward says, yo, I'm fishing too. Awesome, Skyward. I hope you catch a monster. Look at that. There goes an Asian carp swimming by. Yeah, those guys don't do great. Look at him. He looks like he's about ready to die. Good luck, my friend. I hope you catch a big one. See, 28 incredible people in. Let's see, and 129 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. About knocked our mic feed off, didn't he? About knocked it right off my hat. Bite on worm. I see him. Come on, buddy, hit it. Oh, picked it up and dropped it again. Let's check this one out, see what's happened to it. And it gives me a chance to tighten that drag up after that last big one. And some of those kernels are missing. That's interesting. Must have had a pretty good bite out there to knock a couple of those kernels off. All right. All right, we're looking good for chat right now. 17 and 110. Awesome, folks. Hope you guys are enjoying the show today. Yeah, we're getting close to our time, folks. I think we're going to run her about 3 hours today. We had about 2 hours and 40 minutes. So we got 20 minutes to get another big one on here for you guys. See if I can lose a rod. I'll give the fish a little bit of a running chance. I'll back off from the rods. Give the fishies a little bit better of an opportunity to pull a rod in. They almost did it on our last stream. I wasn't looking, and if you watch that short feed, I was talking to people on chat, and yeah, that rod was like over the stick before I even stood up. Cool trains today. That's our second one down here. Come on, fishies. Yeah, I'm backing off the rods to give them a chance to get for the fishies to get. Yeah, for them to pull them in. Yeah, I do. I like to give these guys every advantage they can get. Yeah, those rods are kind of off angle, aren't they? That should be pointed more like that. And that should be pointed more like this. Tell you what, I haven't put worm on this yet today. The jig head technique, I'll put a worm on this one, see if I can get something to hit a jig head crawler technique rather than the jig head corn. It's the same technique except you use a worm on there instead of corn. And this technique actually works better with like little red worms. So the jig head crawler, you get either one night crawler and you put it on there, or a couple little red worms, and you just strain those up the hook and make like a little lively little thing like that. That'll bounce around the current. It's very, very natural looking. Assuming I can get this stupid thing to cast. I do need a new reel for my fluger. Because this, a rod for this fluger, because this reel is finally starting to go. How many hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pounds worth of fish it's caught down here. I think it's about ready to be retired. That's better. And I'm sure this worm's going to get bite, but I don't know what it's going to be. Could be anything on worm. All right, both rods are set. Let's come over and sit with you guys for chat. Get to set my butt down in the sand. 2.5 hours of manning the rods. I get a little bit of time off. Let's see. Brandon says, sorry, MVP. I was asking Nathan. Here, see my community. Oh, I got you. I got you now, my friend. Let's see. Big Uncle asks, let me know if you need a ride on the train, and I'll stop. I'm okay. I got a scooter, but thank you anyways. I thought about it though. Abby says, I do, Big Uncle. Stop it for me. Abby asked, I didn't, but better watch Abby. She bites. And Brandon says, went walleye fishing last night and hit some big walleye on the new custom. Yep, that's the second time you put that in today. Brandon says, did my chat freeze? Nope, Brandon, it hasn't. Nathan says everyone passed out. After that last fish, I don't doubt it. Let's see. Bonnie says, still here eating peanut butter and crackers. Let's see. Brandon says, hello, Bonnie. Nathan says, Bonnie, I'm eating cantaloupe. Let's see. Brandon says, I only put it on once MVP. That's a bite on worm, close rod. Ah, you'll stinker right up by the surface. Man, that had to have been another gar. Dang it. Right up by the surface, folks. Dang. Them little stinkers are tough to hook. And these worms are doing pretty good out here for 90-degree temperatures. In the sun. You're okay, Brandon. Hope you guys are enjoying the show today, and thank you for tuning in. That's a bite on that one. Got him, folks. Fish on. Yikes. Got another one. Another big one, folks. That's on worm. Yikes. Slow down, girl. Slow down. And I had to double that rod. She is going for that current. Man, look at that fish running up current now. She's going down current. Now she's going up. That was on worm, folks. I have no idea what this thing is. It's not shaking its head. What do we got? Whoa, 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 whoa. Man, these guys can fight. Man, that is not fighting like a grass carp, folks. Man, with the way that fish hit, I think we might have a striper or a common carp on. Now, that is not shaking its head. What is that? Well, that's right up at the surface, man. Well, this is fighting like nothing I know. That's just dead weight. I'm gonna go, whoa, whoa. And she's diving for that truck down there now. Now, this is as much force as I can put on this little jig head. What was that? This is one big fish, whatever it is, folks. And this is definitely not fighting like a grassy. That is just all solid muscle. Come on, girl, let me see you. Come on, girl, get your head off the bottom. Up, common. That big common carp. And I knew that wasn't fighting like a grassy. She had me snagged out there once, actually. But it come off, luckily. Which kind of makes me worry about the knot on the sucker. Yeah, that's a big common carp. 10, 12 pounds easy. That's one of our river monsters. Oh, buddy, whoa. Yikes. There she goes again. Trying to get this camera turned. All right, that looks good, folks. Yeah, this is way too big to land over on that shoreline. Oh, yeah, big common carp, easy 10. She got a notch on her head. Looks like she's been hit by something out there. That's what kept getting me unusual. That fish just kept coming up to the surface. Yeah, she got a big old notch on her head, but probably got from someone trying snagging out here. Yeah, that's a big common carp, folks. Yeah, she got a big knot on her head, but other than that, she's beautiful. Yeah, easy 15 on this one. Yeah, that top dorsal fin, man, that scares the heck out of me when that happens. Come here, big girl. Man, she was running almost like a striper out there. Not quite. Come here, big girl. Come here. Come here. Is our mic feed still on? Yep, it's still on. All right, we touched her, folks. It counts. Yeah, that's 15 easy. We got her, folks. We got her. Yeah, that's that little jig head of Steve Turner's. Hook is out, folks. Hook is out, my friends. Yeah, this one's got a notch on her head, but yeah, it's got some notches on her. Kind of scarred up. Yeah, it looks like either a barge hit her or someone was uh, snagging and hit her with something. But still a beautiful fish, folks. Man, these guys just don't want to quit today, do they, folks? Yeah, I'll go about 15 on that one. Yeah, kind of torn up there, but still a beautiful fish. Gotta love it, my friends. Yeah, every once in a while you're gonna get one with some scars on her. And yeah, this one's been through some battles in her lifetime. Gotta love it. I love it, my friends. Oh, yep. She wants to go. Oh, yep. Well, come on, big girl. Let's get you back in the water. Yeah, let's get you back in the water, girl. Yeah, that's a beautiful common carp, folks. She's got some scars on her, but that happens down here in the river sometimes. All right, there you go, girl. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Woo, doggy. Oh, man. Yeah, there ain't no saving this shirt today. Sheesh, they're hitting my light stuff today. Medic. Wow, that's fun, folks. That is just fun. I don't care who you are. All right, let's get that set up back. And we'll get these rods back out. Thank you so much for all those reactions, my friends. It helps out the channel so much. Yeah, especially when you've got something interesting happening in the live feed. If you push those reactions, that's telling YouTube something's going on. Moderators especially, that's a big time plus for a live stream. Yeah, that was on the jig head crawler technique, folks. So that was just the regular 1/8 ounce jig head with the night crawler on there. And man, that sucker hit it. I set the hook on her, and she peeled out at least 50 yards of line. She started to get cloudy, folks. I know these storms are starting to come in. Let's see how long we've been in, folks. I think we've been in pretty close to 3 hours. And I wanted to push her a little bit yesterday to 4 hours, but I I like to do these 3-hour live streams, especially when you've got impending weather. Get out when you can. Get that stream going during your allotted time slot, and like my time slot's between 11 and 2 o'clock. That's the starting time. Like yesterday, I started mine just a little late. Another bite on worm. No, dropped it. Okay. Still got some fishies out there. All right, folks, let's check this chat and see what's going on. Man, what a day. Let's see. Brandon says Okay, let's see. And Nathan says, you need it twice, Mike. Nathan says, biggin. Brandon says, what's a T, MVP? And Doug says, nice one. Thank you so much. And Cindy, how you doing, Skipjack Cindy? How you doing, Cindy? Cindy says, hi, Mike. Hi, Cindy. Hi. Let's see. Ewa says, hey, Cindy. Nathan says, catfish. Let's see. Cindy says, hi, Nathan. Cindy says, Ewas. Nathan says, probably striper. I thought for a minute that's a bite on worm. Bar rod. Pop, 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 pop. Come on, buddy. And that was hitting it hard. Man. Yeah, the wind started picking up too, folks. I think we've got some impending storms coming in. No. It's very possible. I've caught, this year I've caught about 7 or 8 stripers between, 7 stripers between 4 and 10 pounds down here this year. And he says, carp fight hard. Yeah, they do. If not catfish, Brandy says, looks like a carp run. Bonnie says, another runner. Cindy says, buffalo. See, Nathan says, well, there isn't much fish you don't know. I'm like, Nathan says, man. Brandon says, hi, Cindy. Cindy says, hi, Brandon. And he says, yep, carp. We're running around like crazy. You got? Yep, that's definitely true. He's still hitting that far rod. He's just hitting it every time I walk away. It looks like he chewed off the end of the worm. Stinker? That's okay. I know the trick to doing that. Put on another worm. And always good that it'll work. Just put on another dang on worm. Yep, the wind's picked up. I think we're about ready to get some storms, folks. So I think we're fixing to shut this down very soon. Yeah, she's going to rain very soon down here, folks. Let's see. Nathan says, I'll have to try carp fishing. Seems really fun. Yeah, it's relatively easily. Let's see, Chris. How you doing, Chris? Chris says, carp is great to catch. I'm going to put up a good fight. You got that right, my friend. They fight like the Dickens. Cindy says, we fish for fights, so we target carp. Me too, my friend. With nightcrawler and corn, that's one of the things I've bait up the spot that brings them in. Brandon says, Washington, we common carp, well over 40 pounds here. I've only seen one in the 30-pound range. Commons, now grass carp getting the 60s down here. Chris says, that's beautiful. Brandon says, kind of looks like a propeller hit it. Very possible. Let's see, and Ray. How you doing today, Ray? Ray says, I needed her in my pond. I'll come down here and grab some there. There's plenty of them to go around. Brandon says, hello, Bambi. Bambi says, woo. And Seth Johnson. How you doing, Seth Johnson? I end up trying to pull it in. Fish on, folks. Got him. Yeah, that one's trying to get it in again. What do we got this time? Yeah, I knocked my soda over. Oh well. What do we got? Awesome! Another freshwater drum. That's a nice freshwater drum, actually. Solid pound. Awesome fish, folks. All right, let's check you out here. Oh, yep. That's about a pound, folks. Yeah, that's a perfect eater size, folks. Perfect pan size, in fact. Beautiful fish, my friends. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Look at those silvers, folks. Silvers, purples, chromes. I love these guys. Check out where you guys get a close up for them. Incredible fish, my friends. Gotta love it. All right, buddy. Let's get you back in the water. See you, buddy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Whew. Let's catch up with chat, folks. I'm trying to catch up with chat right now. 33 people in and 123 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Seth Johnson, by the way, awesome. Thank you for coming in, my friend. See Emmanuel. Manuel says, congratulations, MVP. Way to go, man. That was a beautiful carp. Thank you, my friend. Seth says hi, Cindy. Let's see. Brandon says hi, Seth. Seth says hey, Cindy. Seth says hey, Brandon. Bambi says, don't forget to double tap that screen for MVP. Learning him up as usual. Brandon says, I gotta go. Take care, everyone. And tight lines. Bonnie says, helps the algorithm. You got it, my friend. Bambi says hi. Bambi says, yes, ma'am. Bonnie, clever girl. Seth says, hey, Bonnie. Wild. Thanks for coming back in. Wild says, let's go. Bambi says, what a fish. Seth says, Bambi. Seth says hi. Bambi says hi. Let's see. Bonnie says hello, Seth. Bambi says, let's go. Wild says, later, everyone. All right. Thank you for coming in, Wild. Seth says, hey, Gator. How you doing today, Gator? Gator says, Seth, my brother. Seth says hi. And Miss Daisy. How you doing, Miss Daisy? Miss Daisy says hi, Mike. Gator says, that bucket about to get in the drink. Yeah, it's getting there, ain't it? Let's see. Miss Daisy says, happy Wednesday. Yes, sir. Happy Wednesday, my friends. Bambi says, thank you, Seth. Bambi says, happy birthday, Bambi. And much love. Up, Gear says, happy early birthday, Bambi. Happy early birthday, Bambi. Happy, 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 happy birthday. Bambi says, aw, thank you. Bambi says, got him. Bambi says, woo. Gator says, very nice. Bambi says, woo. Cindy says, happy birthday, Bambi. Cindy says, hi, Gator. And Bambi says, aw. And Miss Cindy. Gator says, Cindy, how are you, Travis? And doing today? All right. Let's get back into this fishing thing and see if we can catch some more of these fishy things. Yeah, this bank is collapsing around us, folks, so trying to find a spot to put my stick. Ah, yeah, that bucket wasn't that close to the shoreline there. You noticed that, folks. That wasn't that close. And this shoreline is collapsing down around us. I think I've got enough energy for me for one more cast, folks. Yeah, we've been in 3 hours, caught a ton of fish already today. Yeah, we've been catching them. pretty much nonstop down here. After the first 15 to 20 minutes, we had a little bit of a couple minutes there. I had a little channel catfish that kept taking my worms off. And I finally hooked that little channel catfish. And after I got that little kitty cat out of the way, then we started hooking some of these suckers. Yeah, the wind just died down now, folks. Yeah, we got some yucky looking clouds up that direction. So they were definitely saying on the news there was potential for some thunderstorms later on today. So I figured I better get out while I could. And that's what we're out here doing. And snagged up. Come on. Okay. It's okay. As long as it comes off. Now, these guys are in here close, folks. I mean, you wouldn't believe how close these carp are and stuff in here. It's just, they're friggin' a few feet from the bank. Look at this shirt. Look at this. This stuff was clean when I came out. Look at that. Oh, boy. Why do I bother? Why do I bother? Why do I even bother putting clean clothes on? Why? Why? All right, let's see what's going on in chat. Got the wind died down now. She changed direction on us, so that's definitely those storms coming in. Let's see. Cindy says hi, Gator. Gator says cinders. Cindy says Travis is moving. Mowing. I'm doing some stuff around here. All right, I got you, Cindy. Bambi says he has his mask. So cute. I'm looking forward to Halloween this year. Pat Mike. Awesome. I've got an outfit for Halloween as well. I've been saving it for a special occasion. Seth says how he was. Ewas says, those are stains of victory. Cindy says, LOL. Bonnie says, can't take you anywhere, Mike. Let's see, Bambi's laughing her butt off. Let's see, 23 incredible people and 126 thumbs up, folks. Oh, bite on a big rod. It was pecking on pretty good. It was pecking on it pretty good. I don't know what that was, but it was thinking about it. Now, I'm not casting out far, folks. It's just, look at this. I can just about, and thank gummit, stop spilling my soda right behind my butt. Sheesh. I don't even have to cast her. I just friggin' do that. I mean, I could catch these things on a cane pole, but I'd never land them. Oh, wow. I think we're over 3 hours, folks. We're going to give this last rod just a couple minutes. This last cast just a couple minutes before we shut her down. We got just enough time to get one more. Yeah, there's some purple clouds upriver, so some yucky looking storm clouds coming. And the humidity just skyrocketed, so I know she's coming. Another peck bite on the close rod again. Come on, buddy, hit it. Got him, folks. Fish on. All right. We got one. Awesome. Always an awesome to end the day on a fish, my friends. I think that'll do it for us today. Considering my shoreline is disappearing around me. Yeah, it's going bye-bye. Where's it going? Yep, awesome fish, folks. This will be our last fish of the day. Hope you guys enjoyed the show today. Cool little freshwater drum. I know what Cindy's thinking. No, it's not bait, Cindy. It's not. It's not bait. No. Cindy, no. Incredible fish, my friends. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. All right, buddy. See ya. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciated. Let's see how long have we been in? Okay, 3 hours and 6 minutes. Looking good to me, my friends. All right, Abby says hi, Cindy. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed the show today. And Gray, how you doing, Gray? Gray says, "Sup, I caught a pickerel once. Awesome, my friend." Abby says, "Have a great one." I'm just gonna add my old good luck. Stay safe. Hope to see you on the water, my friends. Keep doing what you love. Keep them lines tight. I'll see you on the next one. Have a great rest of your day, my friends. Thank you. Appreciate it. Bye.